It's fall in our watershed, and the trees are starting to change colors from their green summer foliage to their brightly colored fall foliage. Have you ever wondered why they change colors? Well, there's a really interesting answer. So in the summertime, you see trees as green. Their leaves are green, and that's because of a prominent pigment in them called, you guessed it, chlorophyll. As you may have learned in school, chlorophyll is responsible for capturing sunlight and turning that into food for the plant to survive. And this is really prominent in the summertime because there's so much sun to capture that this pigment is very visible. But when fall comes around, there's a little bit of change in the light available to trees, and the trees catch that. So the chlorophyll that causes the green color starts to roll back its production a little bit, and it allows other pigments that are always present in the leaves to start showing a little bit. Those pigments that are always in the leaves but don't always show their color are called carotenoids, and they produce yellow and orange colors. They are what you see most of the time in leaves in the fall. Now, they are always present in the leaves, but there's another pigment that sometimes that comes into play when you see red or maroon colored leaves, and those are called anthocyanins. And those are not always present in the leaves. They only get into the leaf color, or into the leaves, in the fall time when that light change happens and when the temperatures start dropping. So when there's a lot of cooler, not freezing nights, you'll see a lot more red colors, and that's because of those anthocyanins. Now you might be wondering, does this really matter to these leaves when they fall? I mean, it's a beautiful show, and they drop off into your yard a lot of the time, and then you have to do a lot of work to clean them up. What's the point of these leaves dropping off? Well, they drop off the trees because those trees during the winter, they don't have the ability to unfreeze the liquids inside of those leaves, and it would actually cause a lot more damage to the tree and a lot more energy to try to unfreeze what's inside those leaves. So instead, they drop off the tree. It allows those trees to save energy in the winter, and then they grow back in the spring. And that's also really important for our rivers. There's bugs inside the river that we call macroinvertebrates, and they live beneath the water, oftentimes under logs like we see here. And they rely on leaf litter or leaves when they fall into the river. And they rely on these leaves for habitat, so a lot of them live underneath the leaves, but they also eat them. They help break down those leaves that fall into the river. And that's really important because that releases some nutrients that are available after they break those down, so that other plants that live on the water's edge can grow better. But also, it reduces the amount of waste that's in the river. Nothing really goes to waste in nature. And that's important because these macroinvertebrate bugs provide food for all kinds of fish in our river. And if you like to fish, you can bet on the fact that those fish you're catching are eating these bugs that rely on the leaves to survive. So it's all connected. Nature is very connected, and hope you enjoy the fall spectacular show, and keep in mind that we are all connected.